aller juste exposer jusqu'à So, we said yesterday, we went over it. Yesterday we said we will be looking at the Psiis. We will be looking at the Asiis if they are level. So the way to do it, you will have to first find the Psiis. First thing is, you need to be able to palpate the Psiis. Some people it will be easier. Some the bone is smaller, so some will be more difficult. As you palpate the Psiis, you will be on the top of the Psiis. Then the goal is to move underneath the Psiis like you want to hook the inferior aspect of the Psiis. A new friend for you, Julie? J'ai dit j'ai une belle amie. For Jamie. So, what I'm doing, I'm palpating the Psiis. It's big enough, so if I'm just palpating it on the top of it, on the posterior aspect of it like this, it's easy to be not at the same place and say, oh yes, there's a problem. Okay? So I need to palpate it, find it, and then I need to hook my finger, glide my fingers on the inferior aspect of the bone and make sure that I will be trying to grasp it from the inferior aspect. Should feel the same way on both sides. And all this should be done without looking at it, because it's easy to find what you want to find. Okay? And I have to say, there's a lot of discrepancy from side to side on a normal sacroiliac joint. So you need to look for something obvious, and you cannot only rely on position to say, oh yes, that sacroiliac is, that iliac is stuck in posterior or anterior rotation. It will be with the position, with the mobility test that we will be doing, with some passive range of motion, with some passive accessory glides that you will learn next semester, that you will be able to say, oh yes, it is effectually stiff hypo position. Okay? So you will find some discrepancy from side to side. Don't panic, doesn't mean that there is a problem. But I want you to do it the right way. See how also my thumbs are not like this, because if I'm using the palm of my thumb, it's bigger, it's harder to be on the same side. So I'm using the edge, the lateral edge of my thumb on the patient's skin. See, I'm not like this, I'm like this. And I'm hooking the inferior aspect. I need to be at the level. See, I'm kneeling, you don't see me, but I'm not that small, I'm kneeling down right now. I need to be at the level of the Psiis so I can have a good idea of the symmetry on both sides. So see, I'm not looking, I will be palpating both Psiis. I will be hooking my fingers on that side and on this side, see if I've got the same feeling. And only after, I will be looking if there is a good symmetry. I will be asking my patient to turn, facing me, and I will be doing the same thing. So, Pascal. Oh. I will be doing the same thing, coming from the iliac crest, moving down, feeling that little bump. I will be moving my fingers inferiorly and trying to hook it on anterior rotation, and I will be hooking my thumbs the same way as I did for Psiis. So on the iliac crest, if you do have difficulty, start from the iliac crest, move down, feel that you are at the end of the Asiis on the inferior aspect on both sides. I'm stuck with a little couture, the Palpationn, which is another feeling, that's okay. Thank you very much. Easier. And then same thing, and take the time to find it. I don't have to push hard, I just need to palpate nicely. And then I will be looking if it's symmetrical or not. Okay? You can look if the iliac crest, the leg are at the same level, or if one leg is longer than the other. It will be done from the front or the back. So having your hands on the iliac crest on both sides. This can be done in a standing position. It can also be done, everything can also be done in a prone and supine position, turn on your back. If I do it with my patient their back first, I will be doing a little maneuver, je ne sais jamais le nom. Bend your knees. Just lift your butt and put it down. C'est quoi le nom que tu suis-tu? Je m'en souviens jamais. It's what? What first? Bar stool?
Should we rename it?
I don't mind about the name. When I started using it, there was no name related to it. Someone just gave it a name.
Name it after.
The Isabelle maneuver. I should find a maneuver just for me over those years. So the main thing that you want to do, it's not like a technique. The only thing you want to do is make sure there's no malpositioning coming from just the patient lying in a poor position or having some muscle tension. So by asking my patient to bend, lift the buttock and let it drop, and then I'm just pulling on the leg myself. I will be pulling a little bit, so making sure to decrease the tension and trying to realign everything. Then I can look on both sides of the ASI, medial and lateral malleoli, if they are level or not. So giving you an idea if there is one leg that seems to be longer or not. I think you saw that in 550, eh? So it's like a review, and we will be looking at measurement also. If we do the observation of Asiis, the bend needs to be low enough so that I'm looking at my patient's pelvic straight, vertical to my patient. That's the Thai technique of Julien. That's your technique. The Julien technique. Julien Thai's technique. You've got the technique, you're so young, how come you've got it and I don't have one? I want one. I really need to find one by the end of this semester. So for sure, if you do it this way, there's no way you can see any asymmetry. Okay, so that's important. I will be leaning over my patient. I will be doing exactly the same thing, feeling the Asiis, moving on the inferior aspect. See, I feel the inferior aspect, I do a little hook, make sure that it feels the same on both sides, and only then I will be looking if it's symmetrical. Okay? If there's an asymmetry, it needs to be important enough. You chart it, and then the way you chart it, is it, let's say, in posterior rotation on one side or anterior rotation on the other side? If there's pain on one side, use that side as your reference. Let's keep it simple for now. I will be asking my patient to turn in a supine, in a prone position. Comme plus fort que moi. Maybe that's my technique. The pulling of the towel. Whoa. I changed the world. So I will be doing the same thing. As just holding the patient's pelvic, I will just lift it slowly and drop it down so that it's pretty straight. And I will be doing the same thing, palpating the Psiis, and then moving on the inferior aspect on both sides. And only when it feels the same, that it feels that I'm on the same spot on both sides, I will be leaning over my patient's pelvic and see if it's symmetrical or not. Then we said if the ASIS is inferior on one side and the PSIS is posterior on that side, we can suspect that the iliac crest, the iliac bone is stuck into anterior rotation. If the PSIS is inferior, the ASIS is superior, you can say that the iliac bone is stuck into posterior rotation. Then the goal will be to identify if there is an anterior or a posterior hypomobility. Leg length discrepancy, if you come back on your side, so you will be doing the leg length on your back. Oh, excuse-moi, ça c'est en fait autre chose à nous. You will be doing the same thing as we just said. We said just bend the knees, lift the butt up, bring it down, so that as you learn, look for if there is any asymmetry, one leg being shorter, one leg being longer. We said it's a question of if the iliac is more anterior or posterior. It will bring the acetabulum more superior or inferior. So you want to see if there is one leg being shorter or longer. If it's the case, we said that if it is actually the sacroiliac displacement position that is causing it, as you will be doing your measurement, it will be the same, the leg length will be the same on both sides. If it's a real leg length, it should be different as you are testing it. And as you practice it, you start from the ASIS and the medial aspect of the malleoli. Make sure that you're using the same landmark. So I like to use the inferior aspect of the ASIS and the inferior aspect of the malleoli, where it's easy for me to get the same measure on both sides. Et ça, qu'est-ce qu'on parle avec ça? On va donc juste mon plan, 2 secondes. Give me 2 sec. Ouais. So we did positional, to be reviewed, leg length discrepancy. I want you to practice range of motion. We will go over the biomechanics after, but practice range of motion. Practice hip, range of motion, flexion extension, so that's a roll out of the extremity. Hip, flexion, extension, active, passive, and the glides. You've got 20 minutes to do that, and we will be coming back for the PAs. In 20 minutes or so. Thank you. Merci.